have this knack for making offers you can't refuse.
Yeah.
Like you almost feel compelled to say yes.
It's like they've got this secret sauce.
Exactly. And that's exactly what we're diving into today with Alex Hormozzi and his books 100 Meevil Leads and 100 Meevil Offers.
We're going to break down those secrets to make those irresistible deals.
Uncover the magic.
Yeah, because what's fascinating about Hormozzi is he doesn't see business as like this straight line, from start to finish.
Right.
He actually uses this really cool analogy of being a gambler.
Oh, interesting.
So you're constantly making bets.
Okay.
But instead of just leaving things to chance like in a casino,
Right.
he's saying, look, I'm going to give you a system to actually stack the odds in your favor.
So it's like we're always playing the game, but with Hormozzi strategies, we get to be the house.
Exactly. You become the house.
That's a powerful way to look at it.
It really is.
I like that.
And, a lot of it comes down to being smart strategic and understanding the psychology behind what actually makes people take action.
Okay.
And one of the key things he talks about is finding the right market.
Makes sense.
He says, it's like setting up a hot dog stand.
Okay.
You wouldn't put it in the middle of the desert, would you?
Definitely not.
You want to be where the hungry people are.
Exactly. Where the action is.
Where the action is.
Yeah.
So instead of trying to be everything to everyone,
Right.
Hormozzi is a huge proponent of what's called niching down.
Niching down. Okay.
So it's about identifying that specific group of people who are desperately seeking a solution that you can provide.
So instead of just having like a general fitness program, you tailor it specifically to, say, busy single parents who are struggling to find time for themselves, let alone the gym.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And that niche targeting allows you to not only provide more value, but also charge a premium for being the perfect solution to their very specific problem.
Because you're solving a bigger pain point.
Exactly. And the best part is Hormozzi actually gives you a framework for this.
Oh, wow.
So you're not just left guessing.
That's incredibly helpful. But let's get into the nuts and bolts of actually crafting these irresistible offers.
Okay,
He calls them Grand Slam offers, right?
He does.
What makes them so special?
So a Grand Slam offer is designed to grab attention, but to also make it a no-brainer for someone to say yes. Think of it this way. It's boosting your response rates, skyrocketing your conversions, and even justifying a higher price point.
Okay.
All because you've created an experience so valuable that the cost becomes almost insignificant in comparison.
He even tells this crazy story about turning down these huge buyout offers when his gym business was making over $50,000 in profit every single day.
Yeah, he's like, nope, I'm good.
Talk about knowing the value of what you've created.
Absolutely. And a core part of that is this thing he calls the value equation.
Ooh.
This is where things get really interesting.
I'm intrigued.
Because he says it's not just about the actual product or service you offer,
Right.
but about the perceived value that you create in the mind of your customer.
Oh, I like that.
It's all about perception. And he gives this example of a study where they literally tricked people into thinking the same wine tasted better.
What?
Just because they were told it was more expensive.
Wow. Our brains are so easy to trick.
They are. We're working with some interesting wiring up there.
That's wild.
It is. And Hormozzi kind of breaks down how dream outcome, time delay, and effort and sacrifice all play a role in shaping that perceived value.
Okay, so break that down for me.
Okay, so you've got your dream outcome, right? So that's like highlighting the amazing transformation your customer desires.
Okay.
Then you've got time delay, which focuses on how long it would take them to achieve that dream outcome on their own.
Okay.
And then you've got effort and sacrifice, which is basically shining a light on everything they'd have to give up in the process of trying to do it themselves.
So it's about positioning your offer as the shortcut, the easier path to their ultimate goal.
Exactly. And you can leverage those elements to justify a higher price because you're saving them time, effort, and potential heartache.
That's brilliant. Okay, so we've got the right market. We're creating incredible value. But how do we package it all up in a way that truly makes it irresistible?
Well, my friend, that's where trimming and stacking comes in.
Okay, let's unpack this trimming and stacking concept.
All right.
It sounds very intriguing.
Imagine you're holding a pair of scissors and you've got like a stack of sticky notes.
Okay.
You start by trimming away any unnecessary features or aspects of your offer.
Right.
Things that don't directly address your ideal customer's biggest pain points or objections.
So we're cutting the fluff.
Cut the fluff.
Get straight to the good stuff.
Exactly. And then comes the stacking part.
Okay.
This is where you take those sticky notes,
Okay.
each one representing a bonus or a benefit,
Okay.
and you strategically place them on your offer to counter those remaining objections.
So let's say we're back to that fitness program for busy single parents.
Yeah.
What kind of things could we stack on there to make it irresistible?
Oh, man. So many things.
Okay.
You could include things like a meal planning guide,
Right.
specifically designed for picky eaters.
Smart.
Access to like a private online community for support and motivation.
Yes.
Or even childcare options during workout sessions.
That's amazing. You're not just giving them a workout routine, you're literally giving them a solution to all of their biggest obstacles.
Exactly. It's about anticipating those roadblocks.
Right.
And paving a smooth path for them to say yes.
It goes back to that gambler analogy, right?
It does.
Each objection is like a card in the house's hand.
It is.
And
Sure.
trimming and stacking is how you take those cards back and stack the deck in your favor.
100%.
I love that. And speaking of stacking the deck, one of the most surprising things Hormozzi talks about is using guarantees to increase sales.
It is counterintuitive.
It seems so counterintuitive, right?
Yeah.
Like, if I'm offering more refunds, that's going to hurt my bottom line.
Well, he actually argues that a strong guarantee, even if it means more refunds,
Okay.
in the beginning, it actually builds trust and encourages action
Okay.
because it minimizes the perceived risk for the customer.
It's that try it before you buy it concept.
It is.
Except even better because they've already invested enough to have made the purchase.
Exactly. They've already made that commitment. So it shows that you have confidence in your offer.
Right.
It signals that you believe in the value you're providing.
It's like he says in the book, make people an offer so good they'd feel stupid saying no.
Exactly.
Which is brilliant marketing.
It is.
But it also makes you think about how confident are you in what you're offering, right?
100%. And it circles back to understanding your ideal customer.
Right.
Because you can't confidently make those kinds of offers
Right.
if you haven't taken the time to really know who you're serving and what they truly need.
And that's where 100E leads comes in.
That's where it comes in.
It's all about building that pipeline of potential customers.
It is.
And I love how he breaks down the psychology behind it.
Yeah.
He says people need to be reminded more than they need to be taught.
Yes,
It's so true.
it is.
We get caught up in thinking we need to constantly come up with this new groundbreaking stuff.
Right.
But sometimes it's just about consistently showing up
Showing up,
and providing value.
providing value consistently.
Right.
That's the key.
That's it.
It's about becoming that familiar, trusted source of information within your niche.
Okay, so part of that is creating what he calls lead magnets.
Yes.
So these are like valuable pieces of content
They are.
that attract your ideal customer and get them on your email list.
Yes.
Can you give an example of a lead magnet
Sure.
for someone who might be new to this whole online business world?
Let's say you're a nutritionist
Okay.
who helps busy professionals eat healthier.
Okay.
A lead magnet could be a free 5-day meal plan with recipes,
Okay.
a grocery shopping checklist, tips for meal prepping on the go.
That's such a great idea. It's something practical and immediately useful.
Exactly.
And in exchange, they give you their email address.
Yep.
So you can continue to nurture that relationship.
It's the beginning of a beautiful relationship.
Exactly.
It's a win-win.
It is. And Hormozzi emphasizes that this is an ongoing process.
It is.
He even shares this story about a time when he and his wife hit a major financial milestone, breaking that 6-figure mark.
It's a good story.
Yeah.
It is.
And it wasn't this overnight success story.
It wasn't.
It was the result of consistent effort over time.
Consistency is key.
It really is.
Yeah.
I love those kinds of stories.
They're great.
It's a good reminder that success isn't always linear,
It's not.
but it's that dedication to the process that ultimately pays off.
100%.
But consistent effort also requires a system, right?
It does.
Especially if you want to scale and build something that goes beyond just you.
You need a system.
You can't do it all yourself.
You can't. You'll
No.
burn out.
And that's something that Hormozzi talks about, too.
He does.
He talks about the importance of developing these high ROI habits.
Yes.
So those activities that generate the biggest return on your investment of time and energy.
Time and energy.
And he even quotes Charlie Munger,
He does.
Warren Buffett's right-hand man,
Yeah, good old Charlie.
who said, and I quote, "The first $100,000 is a bleach, but you got to do it. I don't care what you got to do. Find a way to get to $100,000. After that, you can ease off the gas a little bit."
Words to live by.
I love that quote. It speaks to that initial hustle.
It does.
That willingness to do whatever it takes to get the ball rolling.
Whoever it takes.
Right. But then, like Munger says, you can start to work smarter, not harder.
100%.
Right. And part of that is building a team.
Building a team is crucial.
And Hormozi talks about how for a long time he struggled with the idea of hiring employees,
He did.
feeling like it was me against them.
The classic entrepreneur struggle.
Right.
It is.
But then he had this realization.
He did.
That was a complete game changer.
Right.
What was that realization?
Okay, so he realized he was comparing like what his employees could do to what he as the business owner could do,
Okay.
instead of comparing their potential to what they could achieve if they weren't working for him.
Oh, wow.
And it totally shifted his perspective.
That is a game changer. It's about empowering your team to rise to the occasion,
Exactly.
not holding them back with your own, limiting beliefs.
100%.
Yeah.
And when you have that solid team in place,
Right.
that's when you can start building what he calls your lead machine.
Okay. A lead machine.
That's the dream.
That sounds like the holy grail.
It is.
How do we make that happen?
So it's about creating a self-sustaining ecosystem.
Oh, okay.
Think of it like a garden.
Okay.
You wouldn't just like plant a few seeds and then just like walk away and expect this like bountiful harvest,
Right.
You got to prepare the soil, you got to water the plants, you got to make sure they have sunlight.
We got to tend to it.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
So a lead machine is very similar.
Okay.
It's utilizing those different tactics,
Okay.
like paid advertising,
Okay.
content marketing,
Right.
referrals,
Yep.
strategic partnerships.
So it's like diversifying your lead sources,
Exactly.
nurturing those leads with valuable content,
Yes.
and then guiding them towards that irresistible offer we talked about earlier.
100%. That's the name of the game.
It all connects.
It all connects.
I love it.
And the best part is,
Yeah.
Hormozi actually gives you this framework
Oh, wow.
for actually scaling this lead machine,
Okay.
from generating thousands to millions of leads.
It's like taking your garden and turning it into a thriving farm.
Exactly.
That's a great analogy.
It is.
But it's not just about quantity, right?
No.
It's about attracting the right kind of customers.
100% the ones who are actually going to buy.
Right. The ones who are a perfect fit for your offer.
Yep.
And they're ready to invest in your solution.
Exactly. It all comes back to that niche focus.
Right.
We're not trying to be everything to everyone.
Right.
You want to be the go-to expert for our specific tribe.
I love that.
Understand their deepest desires and then craft an offer that's like,
They can't say no to.
No.
They can't refuse. It's about creating a movement, a community of passionate individuals.
yes,
Who not only benefit from your product or service, but they become those raving fans
they do.
who spread the word to others.
Word of mouth is the best marketing.
The best kind.
It is.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Alex Hormozi's world of irresistible offers,
Yeah.
what's the one thing you want our listener to take away from all of this?
I want them to remember that crafting an offer that people can't refuse is a skill.
Okay.
And like any skill, it can be learned.
Yeah, absolutely.
It takes time and effort and a deep understanding of your ideal customer.
Yes.
But the rewards are well worth it.
It's about shifting that mindset from selling to serving,
100%.
from pushing to attracting,
Yes.
from transactions to transformations.
Love it.
And it all starts with a single question.
What's that?
What's one offer in your life, personal or professional, that you can make irresistible?